Welcome to another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmit. In this video, I will be decoding a TV series. The TV series is called Outer Limits. Outer Limits. It is very similar to Twilight Zone. It is in the science fiction genre, and it's synonymous with Outer Limits. The same kind of mystery concepts of, strange things happening. So, to begin, this this YouTube story of Outer Limits does not have a title. It's called Season 2, Episode 16. Whoever uploaded it only wanted to use numbers. That's fine. Season 2, Episode 16. The story is about the main character is a servant to an alien lord. And part 2 of that is that the alien lord is the bad guy, right? And there are rebels that come and kidnap the servant, and I say servant, I mean slave, and try to deprogram him. And then some other things happen at the end. I will let you watch that. So now I will randomly decode parts of this story. Point 1. There is a reference to Saragon oil. This oil is used by the master, okay? The bad guy. So the bad guy number 1, okay? I have to number them. Bad guy number 1, because I really don't remember his name exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure about his name. So anyway, that oil represents melanin. And what's very funny is that the alien is a very scaly creature. And basically what it's saying is black people have dry skin. I mean, that's really the message that they're saying for this alien to represent a black person, is that he's using that oil. And it's funny because black people have dry skin. I'm not going to explain why. That's just how it is, okay? And it's the truth. So it also says in the story that this Saragon oil is very precious, very hard to get, and it is the most important thing for the master's existence, okay? It's like he has to have that every single day. All right, translation, that's melanin. Point 2, I already said point 2 about how it's precious. Point 3, I already said, because the Lord is a scaly alien. Point 4 is a side note. In this story, there's going to be a role reversal. That's all I'm going to say. Point 5, or another point for point 4, is that most of the times in science fiction movies, the alien is metaphysically the black person, okay? Because you're the original person, but the beast will always make everything the opposite. So he says you're the alien when really he's the alien. You are not the alien. Even Bobby mistakenly says you are the alien. No, you're not the alien. Not in my perspective. You could say you're the alien, because there's you can justify and rationalize anything if you want to say you're the alien. But in my perspective, you're not the alien. He's the alien. He's the one that is foreign to this earth. You're not foreign to this earth. So, anyway, usually the alien refers to the black person and or the power of their melanin. But maybe later in the story there's a role reversal. But I can explain that role reversal. Okay, so now point 5. There is a scene where it is said, the Torkor delight in turning our best and brightest into slaves. What is the translation there? White people delight in turning our best and brightest into slaves. What do I really mean there? I mean your black boule, your black celebrities, your black elite, your black politicians. That's your so-called best and brightest, okay? How are they turned into slaves? They're all Freemason, boule, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about. They are publicly against black people. Publicly they will dismiss, a cop shooting a black person, and they will say, oh, this is nothing. Or they will dismiss, oh, well, color doesn't mean anything. I don't feel any color. What Will Ferrell said that shit. Is it Will Ferrell? I think his name Will Ferrell. Anyway, the guy the guy that created one of the biggest propaganda songs known to black people, which is I'm Happy. That was a that was a ritual song to, cover up any kind of injustice happening to you now. You always get the celebrity that says everything is roses and rainbows, and I don't feel any prejudice at all. I don't know what people are talking about. All right, let me get off that bandwagon. You got the point. All right, so point 7. Point 7 is I have it named point 9 over here. There is a scene, and it is said, the rebel is talking to the main character that he's trying to deprogram. And he says to him, they conditioned you to ignore pain. Excuse me. All right, they conditioned you to ignore pain. What is the translation here? White people have conditioned black people to ignore their emotional pain. Black people ignore their historical, emotional, and current pain. In other words, you ignore the past and present pains of atrocities committed against you. Okay, end of that point right there. Number 10, because I changed the numbers here. Oh, this is a biggie. A very big decoding here. The main character. Here is the name of the main character. His name is Jolim, as in Jolim. What is the decoding there? This is a big one. Even I'm surprised that I figured it out. Just my spirit just uncovered it. It took me a little while because I knew that name means something. I know it has to mean something because they don't do anything. They do everything with a purpose and a point and an underlying message and a secret. There's a secret. They're not just pulling names out of their asses. These people have studied in the occult, and they are ritually making a TV program for a reason, to say a message. So anyway, the character's name, the main character, is Jolim. Now, what is the decoding there? The decoding is that name really means Elohim. It really means Elohim. Now, how could I come up with that? Let me read my notes specifically, okay? You start with Jolim. Jolim. And I'm saying they really are saying, metaphysically, they are saying Elohim. First, you have to know what Elohim means. It means a plural of God. It means gods. It's the plural form of God. So it means gods, plural. Okay? So, what is it? El is one, God, but Elohim is plural. Okay. So, first step is J did not exist in the Greek language. Okay? J did not exist in the Greek language. So we remove J. So you have Jolim, remove the J, you will have Olim. Step 2. What is step 2? Oh, the short I. Change the short I to long E. So instead of saying Olim, you're going to say Olim. Third step, you reverse the O and the L. And literally, you will say L. L-O-Him. Aren't I a genius? That's pretty clever, huh? These beasts are clever. But once you have the background knowledge from Bobby, I mean, you hear these different words, it's going to start clicking in you. And you're going to see right through this shit too. Because I can see through it all. Immediately, I can see through it. I knew there was something with this name because there has to be. They pick the names for a reason, and a lot of times they are picking the names of ancient deities. And I will do a video on that. I don't want to start going off on a tangent, but we'll talk about that later. So, again, Jolim. Jolim is the main character's name. And metaphysically, the decoding is he represents Elohim. And he represents a black person because he was a slave to the scaly alien. So, no one told me this. I just figured it out. When your consciousness, when you wake up, you are going to be able to just receive information. Just things will pop in your head. The same way I'm decoding this, things just pop in my head. But this is all based on listening to the lectures of Bobby Hemmit. So just get the information in your head, and the truth is going to be downloaded. These revelations will come to you effortlessly. It's just going to be part of your natural thought. Okay, back to the story. But let's continue. Now we just decoded the name Jolim. Now we're going to decode the name Koltok. And I think that is the name of, even though earlier I said I didn't know his name, I really didn't memorize his name because they don't say it so much, and it's a strange name. All right, so the alien's name is Koltok. Koltok. I did the research. It took me a while to find this. I couldn't find it anywhere. On the second day, I've looked up at least 5 different websites for genealogy, and I could not find this name. It was saying all kinds of other things, But, okay, Koltok is a Polish surname. What is the translation there? Polish is a variation of the Caucasian person, which means he represents the Caucasian person. Put a period on that, okay? Polish, I don't want to say Irish because the Irish are actually black, but they want to perpetuate themselves as white, so I'm going to say Polish, Irish, Italian, Greek, Australian, all these people today, the face of those countries, a white person will pop up into your mind. So that is what we're saying. We're not, obviously, we know better than that. And we know all origins of every country is a black person, a melanated person. But for the sake of this decoding, Koltok is a Polish surname. So Koltok refers to a white person. Okay? And Koltok is the alien number 1 in the story. Okay? He's the first lord. Okay? Because later a second one is introduced. Oh, I didn't finish. Because I'm not going in the order that I'm supposed to go. All right, now it says number 11. I explained the names. Number 12, the deprogrammer says, time to wake up out of that deep, deep, deep sleep you've been in. Who are they talking about here? Translation, they're talking about the black man being in a deep coma, being unaware and oblivious to his true soul, origin, and identity as a god. Put a period on that. Next point, next thing said by the deprogrammer. You love your master. Do I need to explain that? I don't need to explain that. But for the sake of this video here, okay, I had a little technical difficulty, but let's continue. Now we just decoded the name Jolim. Now we're going to decode the name Koltok. And I think that is the name of, Even though earlier I said I didn't know his name, I really didn't memorize his name because they don't say it so much, and it's a strange name. All right, so the alien's name is Cole Talk. Cole Talk. I did the research. It took me a while to find this. I couldn't find it anywhere. On the second day, I've looked up at least 5 different websites for genealogy, and I could not find this name. It was saying all kinds of other things, But, okay, Cole Talk is a Polish surname. What is the translation there? Polish is a variation of the Caucasian person, which means he represents the Caucasian person. Put a period on that, okay? Polish, I don't want to say Irish because the Irish are actually black, but they want to perpetuate themselves as white, so I'm going to say Polish, Irish, Italian, Greek, Australian, all these people today, the face of those countries, a white person will pop up into your mind. So that is what we're saying. We're not, obviously, we know better than that. And we know all origins of every country is a black person, a melanated person. But for the sake of this decoding, Koltok is a Polish surname. So Koltok refers to a white person. Okay? And Koltok is the alien number 1 in the story. Okay? He's the first lord. Okay? Because later a second one is introduced. Oh, I didn't finish. Because I'm not going in the order that I'm supposed to go. All right, now it says number 11. I explained the names. Number 12, the deprogrammer says, time to wake up out of that deep, deep, deep sleep you've been in. Who are they talking about here? Translation, they're talking about the black man being in a deep coma, being unaware and oblivious to his true soul, origin, and identity as a god. Put a period on that. Next point, next thing said by the deprogrammer. You love your master. Do I need to explain that? I don't need to explain that. But for the sake of this video here, that is obviously talking about how the black man, the unconscious black man, is in a coma about himself, and of course he will fight another black man to defend the white man or his beast woman. And another thing that it says, that's said in the story, is that the cold talk wiped out a civilization. They killed millions. Who are we talking about that in history? Are we talking about melanated people killing millions? Or are we talking about non-melanated people, Caucasian people, the beast, killing millions? Okay. Actually, I didn't want to say the word Caucasian because somebody is going to listen to this and you know what they're going to do. So, I need to. Okay, we have to splice some things together. right, so in conclusion, that is all for the decoding. At the end, there is a twist. And when, you know what, as I was speaking this out loud without rehearsal, I don't rehearse anything because I don't have time for that. I realized something that I thought one way in the beginning, but I thought there was a role reversal. You know, I thought that the writers were making a contradiction so that they can, twist the truth. But actually, they held true to the truth. And I will tell you what I mean. At the end, there's a twist. The deprogrammer turns out to be a traitor. The deprogrammer turns out to be a traitor. And then there's an alien number 2 that's very similar to alien number 1. He's very grotesque and he has the scaly skin like an alligator. But he's the enemy he's the rival of the first alien. And that's why I said alien number 1. So, if the rebel was supposed to rescue the black man, and by default that rebel is black and representing black people, that black person's a traitor. That's what they're pointing out to you. They're pointing out to you that you have black people that are traitors. You could say, because before I was like, oh, they did a role reversal there, the alien isn't actually they kind of did a double role identity, because they have the alien representing the white person but physically black because of the melanin. Okay, that's a double role identity. But then at the end, the programmer, which is supposed to be black, rescuing the other guy that represents black because his name was Jolene. The deprogrammer is a traitor. So who are the traitors of black people? Who are the traitors of black people? That traitor represents the epitome of Boule blacks, black Freemasons, and black politicians and black celebrities. And I think you know what I mean. Those people are a high profile. They get a certain status, but they always publicly denounce either being black or helping black people or taking a real making a change in the injustices against black people. They might do some superficial I'm gonna do a dance and I'm gonna put a black power sign, or I'm gonna have some black dancers in all of my programs. But like Will Ferrell did, he denounced any injustices against black people. All of those people are gonna denounce it. And Jesse Jackson is just gonna, he's just a professional mouthpiece. He's just gonna talk about it a lot, okay? Anyway, you already know that. That ends another decoding, and that ends another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmit. And thank you for listening. And take a look at the sci-fi Outer Limits, and I'll put the link. I will add the link So that it makes it easier. You don't even have to search it. You will just be able to click on it. So all credit I give to Bobby Hemmit and Ashe for Bobby Hemmit, along with, of course, all of our ancestors, known and unknown, which are in you. They're in your blood. This is not difficult to understand. This is not difficult to understand. Microscopically, your entire lineage is in your blood. So that melanin holds the memory of every single person that is your forefather. Now, just the secret is you don't know that you've been here. Actually, it's not even a secret. The black man is the Adam. The black woman is the Eve. I mean, it's just that what's difficult for people is just the programming and brainwashing to not know that. And then, of course, sadly, we have religion that has locked people down because they can't think past the point of religion or the point of where Jesus was born. So you can't ever know anything before that.